In my last video about Lottie, I said Tai was my least favorite character, and that still stands. But I guess I also want to be honest about why that is, because it's frustrating. Tai had everything she needed to be a great leader. She had instincts, she had strategy, she could read a room better than anyone, and for a while, it seemed like the show was building her up to be that. But somewhere along the line, things spiraled. Her arc, especially in season 3, stopped making sense, or at least it felt like it did, because now, rewatching it all with fresh eyes, I actually think Tai might be the show's biggest tragedy. She's someone who operates on logic, keeps people together, protects the people she loves, yet she's constantly torn apart by the thing inside her. She's not just a rational thinker, she's also deeply emotional, deeply protective, but she never lets herself show it. Now today we're going to break down just that. Who Tai really is, how she operates, what drives her, and how the line between Tai and other Tai became the one thing that kept her from saving everyone, including herself. Now, before we jump in, and of course this is if you want to do it, and if you don't want to do it, don't. But if you enjoy this type of content, theories, breakdowns, deep dives, and just overthinking TV shows and movies, I would greatly appreciate the support. If you could like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, it would mean a lot. You guys really do know the spiel, but it does help the channel grow. Now with that being said, let's talk about Taissa Turner.
I'm different from what people expect, and it scares them.
Now, before the crash, Taissa Turner was already 2 steps ahead of everyone else. We meet her in the first episode, and the very first thing we learn about her, she's a strategist. Cold, calculating, and brutally efficient when it comes to achieving her goals. In the bathroom scene, Tai's already decided Ali is a liability to the team. She doesn't run her plan by anyone yet.
If she plays like she did at States...
Don't worry. That's not gonna happen.
And then she tells the others what's happening.
She can't screw up if she doesn't get the ball.
You want to freeze her out. At least we'd know what we're working with.
And when they don't stop her, she goes through with it. The plan is to freeze Ali out in practice, make her feel like dead weight. But it goes too far and Ali's leg snaps.
Holy fuck.
In the locker room, Tai looks shaken. And at the party before the flight, you can hear it in her voice when she tells Shauna,
I'm sorry for what I said before. About you.
I didn't, mean to hurt her.
She is remorseful, but not apologetic about why she did it. The goal was still valid. The execution just failed. That's classic Taissa. She's rational even when things go horribly wrong. Now, on the day of the flight, we see a glimpse of her home life, and it's pretty stable. 2 parents, nice house, her dad's making breakfast, her mom offers her a ride. They're not dysfunctional, at least not visibly. Tai's not reacting to chaos like some of the others. Her control issues seem to come from within. Now in season 2, episode 1, we get a flashback of baby Tai. We see her as a kid sitting beside her dying grandmother, and this is the first time we hear about the man with no eyes. Her grandmother sees him first.
Who are you?
Is the angel here?
Don't you come over here.
And then Tai sees him too. A tall man, faceless, watching.
Who?
That man with no eyes!
Now the way I see it when I was rewatching this all starts with trauma. Tai is a kid watching her grandmother die, which is already a horrifying moment. And in the middle of that, her brain pulls something she saw earlier on TV. A man with no eyes from a commercial.
Calm down.
Holy shit, I must have seen that ad when I was little, and the man, and no eyes, and then my grandmother died, and
That image fuses with the fear she's feeling and becomes the face of it. Whether it's PTSD, night terrors, or something deeper, that moment marks the beginning of the split. It's like her mind couldn't fully look at death, so it invented something else to stare back.
You know you got the JV team fooled.
What?
Well, you're not that much of a bitch.
When the plane crashes, Tai doesn't panic. She finds the lake and tells the others they have to move. It's not a suggestion, it's a decision.
This is bullshit. I say no. Okay? No way.
Let's put it to a vote.
Early on, she sets herself apart, not by claiming leadership, but by being the only one thinking several steps ahead. That's who Tai is in the wilderness, the strategist. She doesn't lead from emotion or belief, she leads from logic. Now in season 1, that mindset comes into focus. When Misty tries to tell Coach Scott about his leg, Tai stops her.
We have to tell him.
Freak him out first. Are you really that psyched to tell him you chopped his fucking leg off with an axe?
It's not cruelty, it's her being calculated. She for sure knows that panic spreads faster than wildfire, and Misty's confession would only make things worse. Tai's always doing the math, always thinking about what's next to come.
But still, Shauna, it's not worth dying to keep Jackie from finding out.
When the others begin turning to prayer and signs, Tai keeps her feet on the ground. She doesn't believe the woods have power, she doesn't believe in it, but she does believe in people, and sometimes in the wrong ones, like Van.
Wait, let's think about this. Think about what? I don't know, this stream? It is a pretty big coincidence that Lottie dreamed about it.
Now, this is just a little side note. I'm currently editing the video, and I thought it would be important for me to mention this. I am not saying that Van is a bad person. I'm not saying that she's the wrong person altogether, but she is the wrong person in this situation. What I'm trying to say is that Van has a huge influence on a lot of Tai's decisions. They both do, honestly. It's very difficult to look at Tai without looking at Van and vice versa. From season 1 and all the way through season 3. In this specific situation, the wilderness, that whole specific situation, I think Van was the wrong person to listen to because Van was scared. So what does she do? She starts putting her faith in Lottie and all of Lottie's crap, the wilderness, it, yada yada yada. And when Van turns to Tai and basically says, if you're not gonna support me, just say it.
You believe that Sporty Spice is the most underrated Spice Girl. You do not believe in whatever this—
Yeah, well, maybe I do. And if that's gonna be a problem, then just say it. Okay?
Tai, being who she is, which is loyal to a fault, backs her. She's like, okay, you know what? I'll go along with this. Now, it's not because she buys into Lottie's version of events that are happening here, or the whole idea of it. It's because she wants to stand by Van. Now, I get it, that when you're trapped in a life or death situation, belief systems of any kind, aliens, God, whatever it is you believe in, becomes a survival tool, especially if others around you believe that too. Because admitting the truth that something horrible and senseless has happened to you, it's easier to offload that weight onto something mysterious, something that's bigger than you. But that choice for Tai becomes what I believe the turning point. Because once Tai starts going along with it, she gets pulled deeper into the belief system, almost without realizing it. Not because she's a true believer, but because the line between logic and survival starts to blur. The longer they're out there, the more pressure she's under, the more vulnerable she becomes to this way of thinking. And maybe, just maybe, if Tai weren't to go along in the beginning with Van, they might have gotten out of the woods a lot quicker. And Shauna, for example. Tai truly, in season 1, and even season 2, and even season 3, spends a lot of time pulling Shauna back from the edge.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I know it. It's okay. I don't want to die.
She encourages her to tell Jackie about the baby. Later, she decides to cremate Jackie's body, not for ritual, but for practical reasons, to protect Shauna's mental and physical health.
Shauna, this has to stop. For your own good. And for the good of the baby.
but even that decision has consequences. Shauna needed to grieve. No matter how long it took, no matter what she was doing, Shauna needed to get over that by herself. So when they burned Jackie, I believe that sped up Shauna's collapse instead of stopping it.
You fucking ate my baby! I saw you! You were covered in blood!
Ty makes a lot of those kinds of calls, ones that seem right in the moment but create new problems later.
You're not gonna talk me out of this. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm coming with you.
She also enforces when no one else will. When Lottie refuses to enter the cabin, it's Ty who stands in her way. Ty doesn't shout or threaten, she expects obedience, and most of the time, she truly gets it.
A bad feeling? I don't believe in that shit. And you're not going to either, okay? So get your ass inside.
But when she sleeps, something else takes over. The version of herself she fights to maintain during the day is undone at night. She climbs trees, she eats dirt, she goes into the woods. Ty starts to realize there's a version of her that doesn't follow logic, and that version might be gaining ground. She tries to manage it. She chains herself up, she joins Lottie's group sessions, but not because she believes, but because Van does. And coincidentally, her sleepwalking stops.
It's mostly just Lottie's woo-woo bullshit and listening to the trees. But Van's convinced I stopped sleepwalking because I started going, and it's making her very happy, as you can see.
By season 2, food is gone. People are unraveling. Ty keeps trying to stay rational, but even she can't ignore what's happening. She follows other Ty into the snow and finds Javi. That's the moment she starts to question herself. Not the forest, not the others, but her own mind. Somehow, the version of herself she doesn't understand led her to something real.
Is that who you always follow?
Only when she lets me.
Okay, there's she too. Am I she? Then who is she?
Taissa.
Then who are you?
But instead of pulling back, Ty pushes forward. After Shauna nearly kills Lottie, it's Ty who brings up the idea of a hunt.
Okay. We need to find a way to stay alive. And it can't be her.
Now that divide deepens in season 3. And this is yet another side note, but to this day, I still have no clue who could have burned down the cabin. And I just would like to hear y'all's opinion on it, because I definitely don't think it was Coach Ben. I don't know, let me know in the comments down below. I'm really curious to see what people think about this. Going back to season 3. At first, Ty resists the idea of leaving life or death decisions up to chance. But when it comes down to it, she rigs the draw. She asks Van to make sure that Hannah pulls the queen. Ty still doesn't believe in the wilderness, but she believes in systems. Rigging the game is how she controls it.
You're asking me to pick who dies? These are our friends, our teammates. Not all of them are.
But here's the irony. Ty thinks she's managing chaos, when really she's fueling it. She talks herself out of leaving with the scientists, saying it doesn't feel right.
Whatever the fuck Shauna and Lottie have been feeling, I've been feeling too since those two arrived.
Who cares? God, since when has that ever mattered to you?
This, after eating Jackie, after hunting Javi, after executing Ben, suddenly the girl who ran towards logic is making choices based on vibes. That's what the wilderness does. It doesn't just strip you down, it convinces you that the rules don't matter anymore.
This place will follow us for the rest of our fucking lives. Why is no one thinking about this?
Because getting rescued and going home outweighs all of that.
Then Mari draws the queen. It wasn't fate, it was tampering, and Ty was in on it. So when the hunt begins, Ty doesn't flinch. She helps track Mari. She helps kill her. She helps eat her. She enforces the consequences of a game she helped manipulate.
This is our fault.
We did everything we could.
And that's the paradox of Ty. She'll cheat the system to survive it, then turn around and make sure everyone else plays by the rules she just broke. In the end, Ty doesn't surrender to belief. She surrenders to control. And when logic doesn't work anymore, she builds a new logic, one that keeps her alive.
Thank you. But I really just want to focus on our collective future, not my past.
Now, in the present day, Taissa is everything she was in the wilderness, but she's wearing a suit now. She's composed, direct, powerful, a state senator, and then not, a mother, a wife. From the outside, she looks like someone who made it out, but from the inside, she's splitting in half. Tai starts sleepwalking again. Her wife Simone finds a hidden altar in their basement. Tai has no memory of building it.
I found that thing in the basement.
What thing?
That's the return of other Tai, a version of herself she can't control, but that knows what she wants. Now, I believe other Tai isn't just chaos. She's desire. She wants Van, not Simone. She wants to be done with pretending. The moment Simone is hospitalized, other Tai doesn't hesitate. She goes straight to Van, not to explain, not to reconnect, just to be there.
What are you doing here, Tai? It's been long time. Really fucking long time.
To reclaim something raw, unfiltered, and real. By the end of season 3, Tai makes that crystal clear. After Van dies, rolled in a carpet, buried in the woods, Tai is done pretending. Tai is done pretending that she can compartmentalize this. She stabs Van's body, eats her heart. It's brutal, but it's also pure wilderness logic. Not because she believes in the wilderness, but because that's what survival looked like back then. Then she says it.
I'm done forgetting Van. Starting now, I'm gonna remember all of it.
That line isn't just about memory, it's about integration. Other Tai was never another person. She was Tai without the brakes, without the polish, the self she buried to keep moving forward. Choosing to remember is Tai admitting that this darkness is hers. In the final episode of season 3, Tai meets Misty at the same diner where she met Shauna in the pilot.
And there's still no sign of the others.
No, not for months.
Okay. Then we're fine.
Only this time, it's not about Jessica Roberts or a reconnection. It's a war room. She blames Shauna.
It's Shauna's fault that Van is dead. Really? It's her fault that Natalie is dead too.
For dragging them back into a mess they barely escaped the first time.
And don't even get me started on the shit she pulled out there. The worst of what we went through, she fueled it. She thrived on it.
And it doesn't sound like grief. It sounds like a mission. Tai doesn't want the spotlight. She never did, but she wants the power, control, order. And now she's turning all of that on the person she once protected. Shauna, the person she stood by, even when she was wrong. Well, not anymore. And this time, she's not going to fix the problem. She's going to eliminate it. Hopefully. Let's just hope they confirm season 4 so we can start building up theories, because I need to see how this ends.
If we keep letting this slide, she's gonna end up being the last one standing. And I don't want that.
That is Taissa Turner. She's a survivor, a skeptic, a protector, and maybe her own worst enemy. But what do you think? Is Tai a hero, a hypocrite, or something else entirely? Now, I'm not sure who I'll do next. I've been debating between Van, Jackie, or Callie, and a part of me is really leaning towards doing a video about Callie. But, of course, I'm open to your guys' suggestions. Thank you to everyone who took the time of day to watch or listen to this video. And now remember, the important thing is to always keep questioning. Even me. Till next time.